welcome to the Round 19 review. As the Carlton Football Club win a game of football. I just said it. It happened. Finally. The Blues came out 8-point winners on this evening. It was 12 goals, 678 to 10 goals, 1070 in front of 40,000 people at the MCG last night, Saturday night. And, we get a moment of relief, to be honest. It's been a miserable little bit of time. It is just football, and it is a sport, and it is a game, and you don't let it dictate your life. But obviously when you live and breathe it, you feel it. And it has been miserable, for the lack of a better word. Just the final moments of accepting what the season is, and then, coming to the realization of what's happened, and then just moving into a space where you're looking forward and you're looking ahead and you're looking for some sort of meaning to keep going to the footy. And I think I found it by the end of the night last night. I think I did, because it was all about the kids. And I think round 19, 2025, in my view, will be the game that we look back on. Not so much the changing of the guard, but it was the first time I felt the kids just didn't have moments. They actually took control a lot more out there, and the weight of numbers of them out there, and not only their ability to have moments, but take them and want them, I think shown through. So, the story will obviously be, Matt Carroll, Ashton Moyer, Lockie Cowan, Flynn Young, Ollie Hollands, these types, they really took to it. Harry O'Farrell, and it just strips it all back a bit. We were talking about it on the fan cams last night. We've stripped back expectations and top four, and you got to do this if you're this. You got to beat this team if you're serious. All of it, all expectation has been stripped back, which is the next layer. And at the end of the day, the club and the team have to be able to deal with the expectation and be stronger than the expectation in order for a premiership to come. But last night it was all stripped back, and it was just can you just go out there and win a game of footy? Can we be reminded what it's like to hear the song after a game? And then I think also it's really important, and Vossi said this in his presser, and I think it's a really important and profound message. He was talking about, the senior players, they're feeling the sting of the missed opportunity, but the youngsters are now playing their very first games of footy, their first 50. And so they love to play. They've got that excitement, and you can't take it away from them. And then on top of that, I think it's important that they start building winning habits, and they start feeling winning moments and winning nights and winning days and winning games. So, yeah, overall, it was a solid night. I was with Pommy. Pommy came to the game. First time in 4 years. Over 4 years. I believe it was round 2, 2021. The last game that he attended. So, shout out to Nick from Horizon Finance Group, who took us both along to the President's Club function. Was there. And I realised how miserable I've become at the football, thanks to Pommy. He's obviously excited. He hasn't been to the footy in a while, and he was just up and about. I'm watching the game. The game was pretty solid, to be fair. Started pretty well. Charlie gets activated early. Ashton Moyer kicks a goal early, positive signs. But I sat there for the majority of the game, particularly in the first half, seeing a lot of what I had felt like I had been seeing already. Strong moments, scoreboard capitalisation in the first quarter. I thought we dominated the play in the second quarter, but didn't have as much to show for on the scoreboard. So in my mind, I'm thinking I just want to wait until the third quarter and see what happens. And it was really interesting. Start of the third, Cripps is talking to the group. They're in their circle, and he's pretty demonstrative. And I interpreted that as him saying, hey, our third quarters have not been good. We need to be switched on. So I thought, okay, well, yeah, interesting footage. And then, before you know it, Van Rooyen has slotted one Fritsch has slotted one. Flynn Young, bless his soul, accidentally kicks the ball out in the full. Pickett slots one from the pocket. And immediately, the reason I was being so dreadful in the first half, in my mind, was justified. Because I was like, oh, okay, all right, it's happening again. But to their credit, the boys actually dug through it, just sat in it, and got out the other end. And I think that was important. Now, the D's are obviously nowhere near the caliber of opponent that we've been playing. Collingwood, Brisbane over the last few weeks. I mean, these teams punish you when you don't capitalise. So there is part of the story that sits there. But at the end of the day, the Blues pulled through. The kids stood up. And there were a few, important moments. I think I'm just for a week, I think Francis Evans just needs some love. I mean, we're talking about a dead rubber game. Season's dead. You're playing for pride. This man puts his head in the hole. I don't know if it's happened too many times this season from a Carlton player. Just put your body on the line, head in the hole, take the hit. You're going to miss a few games now. But I thought that was an important moment, and it kind of lifted me. It lifted those of us who were sitting around me. Had a really interesting conversation. Some gentlemen like, oh, no, I shouldn't be in the team. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? Like, he's earned some respect. Like, he's put his head in the hole, and the same guy was like, you know what? You're right. He did put his head in the hole. So there was interesting conversations had there. Fourth quarter comes along. I'm so tense. So tense. The D's kick away. At one point, it gets cut to a 2-point game. And I'm feeling it. Pommy is just chill. He's like, I don't know why you guys are so miserable. We're winning this game. And then there was an interesting moment with Charlie. So, he started the game pretty well. And then he had a shot later in the game where he wheeled around and just rushed it and didn't register a score. And I'm just sitting there thinking, Charlie, like, come on, man. Like, how many times do you need to be tested with this situation? And then the fourth quarter comes and he takes his 30 and it goes. And I was sitting sort of level 2 in the Olympic stand, and I sort of watched the trajectory of the ball. There was just something in the ball, like it had some height, and then something came and just took it. It was a good kick. Important goal. Iced the game. Sort of. Matt Carroll then has his moment, and that's when I think it releases for me, when Matt Carroll kicks his goal. Just the trust to give him the opportunity to run on and kick the goal, and then for him to take the moment and kick the goal. All of the miserable energy that I had for the entire game just released. Actually got up, screamed, like genuinely was excited for him, for the group, for all of it. And it was all stripped back. Like expectations and all of that just paused for a minute. It's like, let's just enjoy the football. Like, this is what we're here to do. We're here to enjoy the footy, and we're here to see the next wave of what's coming through. And whether or not they win the flag, whatever, just enjoy them for what they are and what they're doing in the moment. So, yeah, it was pleasing. Siren goes, got to sing it. That was nice. It's actually the first game I've ever been to with Pommy. Sorry, Carlton game that I've been to with Pommy. So that was nice. Me, Pommy, Nick, arm in arm, singing the song, and then out. MCG, gone. Onto the train, home, fan cams, and that'll do it. It was a good night. It actually was a really good night. We won't get too long to enjoy it because the Hawks are approaching 5 days, and we play them Thursday night. We'll be back at the MCG. Whatever. It'll be what it'll be. We're just getting through to the end of the year. So, yeah, it was bit of realization in my mind about, it's like, mate, like I need to try and not forget what it was like to not be around for the footy, because I really missed it. It's been tricky to find joy this year. Well, lately in particular, it's been really tricky to sort of find joy. I don't remember experiencing it like this in my time experiencing it. And so I've been searching for something you kind of need a hook to hold on to. And I think last night was a bit more around, the people, the community, the kids on the field, and then seeing their growth, and then getting behind that, and then maybe it's a little bit about accepting what has happened and understanding, okay, it's about moving forward, and that's going to take a little bit of time. I think, this year we're going to be constantly reminded. It's not fixed, but we're going to be constantly reminded about where it's at and the disappointment. But at the same time, there are things that are happening now with the way the team is being selected, which does give you a bit of hope for the future. And just trying to enjoy it, just trying to stay as present as possible, which I didn't do very well last night during the game, because I kept thinking, like in the first quarter, I kept thinking about, okay, I'm just going to wait until the third quarter and see what happens. And then the third quarter happens, and I thought, told ya. Get to the fourth quarter, I'm like, just want to see what happens by the end of the game. So I'm a bit damaged, and I've realized that last night. So, it is what it is. What about you? How did you enjoy round 19? How did you watch that game? There were 40,000 people at the MCG, which, again, these numbers are a bit surprising to me. I think maybe my eye test has changed. Maybe I'm just not seeing the crowds like I used to, but 40,000 was surprising to me. Still pretty low, but surprising to me nonetheless. So, what were your takeaways from round 19? What stood out to you, and what do you think is important from what you saw in round 19 moving forward? Chat to you in the comments. We'll go from there. Go Blues.